Well, I'm pinch hitting for David this evening. Let's not forget that he's at camp with her campers, so we need to pray for them that all will go well, that no one will get hurt, that they'll have a good time and they'll learn about God. Have you ever worried about something that you thought was real important and then found out that it wasn't quite as important as you thought it was? Well, most of us have, and most of us can relate to Martha in our text this evening. Each of us can also learn what is important from Mary and place our priorities where they are to be. Jesus belongs in the center of our lives. We know that. And his word will tell us what is important. You probably know now that our Devo is about Mary and Martha. Luke 10:18 through 42. Well, mostly at least. Before going there, though, let's turn to John 11, beginning in verse 1. Now a certain man was ill, Lazarus of Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. It was Mary who anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was ill. So the sisters sent to him, saying, Lord, he whom you love is ill. Skip down to verse 5. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. In our day of health and wealth preaching and the gospel of self-esteem, it's sometimes hard to see that real love often means telling a person what he needs to hear. Sort of the same thing that Bob had to say a little earlier. Total love involves giving a person what he needs and not necessarily what he wants or what he expects. There's more love in snatching a baby away from an oncoming car than there is in allowing it to play in the street. Now let's read our text, Luke 10:38 through 42. Now as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went up to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me. But the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. We aren't told the number who were traveling with Jesus, and we don't know the number that came to Martha's house. But we do know that Martha was distracted with much serving. Martha was working hard, but as Brother Keeble used to say, she was working in the wrong field. She is not doing what Jesus wanted her to do at that particular time. Christianity that is directed by the will of man is not Christianity at all. It's humanity. That's serving oneself. Our intention may be good, but intention alone isn't enough. We must be directed in our lives and in our worship by God's word. Mary listened to the Lord's teaching. Martha instructed the Lord. She said, Lord, tell her to help me. Much of us probably violate this principle in many ways. Let's take it for instance. A man divorced his wife because she complained too much. When told he had no biblical right to remarry, he said, I'm too young not to remarry. God will just have to accept it. Who is the instructor? Who's telling who? Did you ever see someone come to all of the church services, participate in many of the programs and not really enjoy any of them. Instead, they seemed to resent everything, complained all the time. Maybe Martha was like that, at least to some extent. The work she was doing was not wrong in itself. She was anxious and troubled about many things, and she was distracted about much serving. Mary just wanted to learn from Jesus. Sometimes some things are just more important than others. I hope that each of us may have it said of us, they chose the good part. We're often presented with two possibilities, and both of them seem good, at least at the time. We work long hours for our families while neglecting to spend quality time with them. We do other good things and we miss church services. We seek money instead of God and we miss the mark. Matthew 6:24. At church, we are busy preaching to ourselves, eating together, keeping the building and the grounds, and we fail to evangelize the lost. We worry and fret about many things and neglect people who are made in the image of God. That's the devotional, but I have something was given by a dear friend that I would like to read. I'm not a poet and I don't particularly like poetry, but this tells something that tells us about ourselves and how others see us. The title of the poem is "You Tell on Yourself," and it's about an unknown author. You tell on yourself by the friends you seek, by the very manner in which you speak, by the way you employ your leisure time, and by the use you make of dollar and dime. You tell on yourself by the things you wear, by the spirit in which the burdens you bear, by the type of things at which you laugh, and by the records you play on your phonograph. I know there's some probably here don't even know what a phonograph is. You tell on yourself by the way you walk, by the things of which you delight to talk, by the manner in which you bear defeat, in so simple a thing as how you eat, by the books you choose from the library shelf. By these things and more, you tell on yourself. It's the way others see us. Let's hope we choose the right way. If anyone has a need, I don't know if there's anyone here that needs to be baptized, maybe rebaptized, maybe just need prayers of the church. This is the allotted time to do that. Please come forward.